Hello, Todd Long, Home Advantage Partners and Keller Williams. At our Keller Williams Mooresville office, we're decorating our offices in the spirit of Halloween right now because we're having all the kids over for Halloween on the 31st. I think from 4 to 6, so if you know someone that would like to bring a kid by to trick or treat, you'll be able to do that at our office. That's not actually the subject for today's video, but I thought this was a great background. So today's subject actually is talking about the NAR home buyer and seller survey that's getting ready to come out. And it's actually the 35th year of the home buyer and seller survey, which is amazing. So 1981 was when it was started. There was no internet in 1981. The average monthly interest, or the average interest rate for a home loan was 15.12% in 1981. And when you described the smart home in 1981, you were probably talking about the number of children you had that made A's at your house. So things have really changed since 1981. But they gave the top 5 things, nuggets, and I wanted to cover those with you real quick. So participation for first-time home buyers. In 1981, it was 44% of our home buyers were first-time home buyers. And now we're down to a rate of 32%. So we've really dropped off in the number of first-time home buyers. And they cited a couple of things here that I've shared with you in videos before. Underemployment, repayment of student loan debt, and not being able to save money for a loan. Now, I've given you a video before about what I think they're going to do about, or could do about, the student loan debt problem. And unable to save kind of perplexes me because we have loans in this market that are zero down and at very, very good interest rates. So the underemployment I certainly can see, but the other two we do have some ways to actually fix. So we're going to move to the next door, and I'll share tip number 2 with you. All right, the second of the 5 notable nuggets from the NAR's home buyer survey is the internet is not replacing a real estate agent. So it's pretty interesting. In 1981, the internet wasn't really even around. As a matter of fact, Realtor.com didn't come around until 1995. So they didn't really start tracking the results of how much home buyers were using the internet until much later. And 21 years ago, only 2% of home buyers cited that as a source in finding the home that they purchased. And now we're up to 90% of home buyers are using the internet as a source for buying their home. That's an amazing stat. And yet, still, 90% of respondents also worked with a real estate agent. So the real estate agent is still an integral part. It was interesting, they talked about for sale by owners are now down to the lowest level they've ever been in history as far as the sales in the real estate market. 8% of all sales are actually for sale by owners. That's a whole different video that we'll cover at a later date. Let's move to the next door for number 3. All right, we're here at door number 3, the office mummy. For any of you guys that know our Mooresville office, you're going to know exactly who that is. So number 3 on the list was buyers have bought slightly bigger, but the pace is currently at a standstill. So in 1981, the average house was 1,700 square feet. And in 2011, the average house that a person bought was 2,000 square feet. But we've stayed very steady at about that 2,000 square foot range since 2011. It actually hasn't gone up very much since then. So I think it's interesting. You think about the tiny home shows and the mega mansion shows, and that really isn't true with what's really happening in reality. Pretty much 2,000 square feet is the house that most people actually buy. Let's move on to number 4. All right, we're here at door number 4, and for all you bold graduates, you'll notice a lot of the bold laws are actually here on this door. And this is number 4 of the 5 notable nuggets from the NAR home buyer survey, and that is down payments have trended down over time, but not in recent years. So what this goes on to say is that back in 89, the first-time home buyers were putting 10% down, and repeat buyers are in the 20% down or so. So it actually was quite a bit higher, and that's always been the trend. First-time home buyers usually put less down than repeat buyers. Then in 2005, 2006, we got down to 2% was the down payment amount for most first-time home buyers. Might that have been a clue that we were getting ready to have a housing crisis? So little money actually being put down. We're currently at about 6% down payment for first-time home buyers, and that's pretty healthy. That's actually pretty close to the median. All right, on to number 5. All right, here we are at the front lobby area where you can see Donna's really taking care of getting this place dressed up to make this a great Halloween experience for the kids for the 31st when you come for trick-or-treat at the Lake Norman Mooresville office. 4 o'clock, I believe, is the correct time. If it's not, I will correct it on the video at the bottom. And here we are on the 5th of the nuggets from the NAR home buyer survey for the year. And this one is, the home search is taking longer. Tight inventory has slowed the pace in the past 2 years. So what this survey goes on to say is, back in the 80s, we were seeing about 5 to 7 weeks was how long it was taking from the time a buyer started their search until they actually bought a home. And we're currently at about 10 weeks. And I think a lot of that has to do with there just isn't a lot of inventory in the market for buyers to look at. So they look at the things that are on the market and they're like, well, we'll wait because there's nothing available for us to actually look at. So that is a challenge. It's one reason we really need some listings in this market. And especially if you are thinking about selling your home, we desperately need to talk to you now, especially moving into the fall season. We often find that people take the properties off the market in the winter, which is absolutely the wrong time to have your house off the market. The people that want to buy and have to buy in the winter are going to have to choose your home because there's not very much inventory available. We can help you. 704-360-0667. Give us a call.